Hey, I'm NichBoy and welcome to Pocket for Tuesday, the 8th of March. Today on the show, Fable becomes legend, Alina becomes Parker, and TV becomes games. Alright, here's what's been making headlines. Nailed it. Almost 4 years after Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning developer 38 Studios fell apart, it's back in the news. And even after all this time, it's bad news. The Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, announced that it had made fraud claims against 3 executives, Wells Fargo, and the former Rhode Island Economic Development Corporation, or RIEDC. In 2010, those groups gave a controversial $75 million loan which brought 38 studios from Massachusetts to Rhode Island. A loan which was to be repaid on the success of games like Kingdoms of Amalur. The bond application form, which led to the loan, failed to disclose, though, that 38 studios would need to seek further funding. When that funding was unable to be obtained, the studio went under and took the initial loan, which had already been spent on development costs, with them. The SEC has already received penalty payments of $25,000 from 2 of the individuals involved, but their case against Wells Fargo and the RIEDC continues. A dense story. According to mobile gaming giant Supercell, more than 100 million people play their games each day. Between Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Heyday, and Boom Beach, Supercell have near worldwide appeal, and on the 6th of March, their games were actually played in every country on the planet except one, Tuvalu. Good on you, Tuvalu. You're your own country. Don't let the rest of the world tell you what damn game to play. In May of 2015, business analysts estimated that Supercell were bringing in $5.15 million in revenue a day from Clash of Clans alone. Moving on, and role-playing farming sim Stardew Valley has had a roaring start on Steam. Steam Spy estimates that the game has sold around 266,000 copies on the digital distribution platform since launch. That's 30,000 copies per day, which is a generous revenue stream for the one-man development team. It's no Supercell money though. It turns out a portion of this success is due to the game's generous community. In a surprising act of altruism, the Stardew subreddit community banded together to start a pay-it-forward chain, with people buying the game for those less fortunate. User Gilded Kitten started the whole thing off, posting, "So today's payday, and I've got a bit of cash left over after paying my bills. I'd like to use it to pay the developer back for the awesome game she's made. If any of you folks can't play because you're out of cash, let me pay it forward for you." Smiley face. Rocket League has surpassed 1 million sales on Xbox One. Psyonix released the game on the platform just 3 weeks ago, and at $20 a pop, this game is bringing in some serious money for the studio. It's no Supercell money though. According to the most recent figures, these Xbox sales bring the game to over 6 million downloads across all platforms. And finally, Harmonix has sought out a new partner in publishing Rock Band 4, leaving Mad Catz in the dust. In the build-up to the release of the latest Rock Band game, peripheral maker Mad Catz nearly had to default on a loan. I mean, they're not making Supercell money. Who's still playing Rock Band? Tuvalu? It's probably Tuvalu. Mad Catz dismissed 3 top executives and will be letting go more than a third of its staff in the near future. Harmonix will be working with Performance Digital Products to make their peripherals for the foreseeable future. I'm joined now by Captain Bajo to discuss our final news story.
Ahoy! Hi! Captain Bajo, ahoy! Why am I captain?
Microsoft has cancelled Fable Legends and may be shutting down Lionhead Studio. Now, Fable Legends was announced in August of 2013. It's that co-op action RPG kind of MOBA game in the Fable universe. Were you looking forward to this game?
I was. I saw a bit of it at E3, and it looked cool.
Yeah.
You know, it just looked like a cool multiplayer RPG. Hadn't really seen anything like it before.
Yeah.
You know, like, you've seen multiplayer RPGs before, but something about it was kind of cool. They're really pushing that everyone has a different role
and kind of building things on the fly. It had a bit of that D&D influence where you could sort of, it was one of you against like everybody else.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because one person would play the boss. That was the big thing about it, I think.
And they would like set up the area so that like the adventurers would come in and you would set traps for them and that sort of thing.
Really cool idea.
I feel like it was a cool idea that I heard about for ages, like this one game. It's like announced in 2013, but I feel like people have been playing the beta for it for ages. And it has been sort of released to small groups for a while. I've never actually had hands-on with it. And it got to a certain point where I was thinking about it just a couple of weeks ago and I was like, oh, it's weird that that game hasn't come out yet, because it's been finished.
Yeah.
You know, like in the sense that people are playing it for a while now, and we haven't really heard anything else. And apparently, this is why.
Maybe they can't find the fun. You know, like
very true.
What was the game with the big monster that came out a little while back that we've all forgotten about already?
Evolve.
Evolve. Yeah. Okay. Evolve was great fun.
Yep.
Right. But none of us are playing it anymore. And
Yeah.
the population's dropped quite a lot after launch. I'm sure there are lots of people still playing it and enjoying it, but like you got the vibe that took a lot of work and a lot of betas, right?
Yeah.
So I imagine when you've got one person controlling one side of a two-sided battle, and then 4 people controlling the other. What a nightmare of balance and
totally.
and strategy to try and make fun for everyone.
Yeah, I guess it was a kind of ambitious game, and it is sad to see it go. The other part of this that's actually really sad is that Lionhead, the studio who's making it, is probably going to be shut down as well. And I say sad, and it is sad for those people, but it feels like the writing has been on the wall for a while for Lionhead. This is the studio that Peter Molyneux founded and was made famous by Black and White and the Fable series. Fan of Fable?
Yeah, I like the Fable games. I loved Fable 2, especially.
The best one.
Yeah, the best one. I loved it because the way that your conversations and your reputation would spread out around the world, you know? So you would do something, and then as you got more evil, people would kind of run away from you, and they'd comment on things that you would do, and I thought like you really had an impact on the world. The things you did mattered.
Yeah.
And you felt really important because of that. So Fable 2 was cool. 3, I couldn't really get into 3, though. I tried very hard. I never really loved it.
No, 3 didn't have the same sort of magic as 2, and I think that the problem for Lionhead was that they kind of doubled down on Fable. That when people love the Fable series, let's keep making Fable games. And so in 2010, Fable 3 came out, and since then, the only things that Lionhead have put out was Fable Heroes, which was an Xbox Live arcade game, which I don't even remember. In 2012, they did Fable the Journey, which was that on-rails horse riding.
Yeah, the weird one.
Yeah, the weird
Because you're
one.
like brushing horses.
Yeah,
And it looks
lots of this sort of movement.
really weird.
And then in 2014, Fable Anniversary, which was just like a port of for the PC, and they've just kind of gone. People love the Fable series. Let's keep making Fable games, but you never made a Fable game. You just made stuff on the periphery of it.
I mean, it's hard to speak about why they're being shut down.
It was
in
because
a way.
of that. It was because of what I just said.
But like, you know, prototypes get up and go down all the time.
Yeah.
As a developer, maybe they shouldn't have announced things if they weren't sure that it was gonna.
But that's
go,
but that was
maybe that's a big
Lionhead's
problem.
whole shtick. Their whole shtick was announcing things that they don't know if they can work or not. You got Milo, you got Black and White 3.
Yeah.
Like they are famous for announcing games.
They
that
should
never-
finish something.
Yeah.
And then go, here it is.
Yeah, you said it earlier. You said we were talking about this, and you go, "Oh yeah, Lionhead, that studio that make Peter Molyneux's lives."
Yeah. Well, Peter Molyneux is he's a big thinker. You
Yeah.
know, and he is a genius.
He is,
but he also says way too much. It's like, shut the hell up, Peter Molyneux.
Yeah.
Don't tell us that. Just get it working first and then tell us about it, because we're saying, oh wow, this is amazing. This is going to be great. This thing you're coming up with, I can't wait to play it. And then he rips your heart out.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen, or it's going to be lesser, or it gets uglier. And then he comes out and he complains about the last game he made. He said, yeah, Fable 2 got uglier and uglier the more we played it. Sorry about that. Fable 3 is going to be really pretty. And then it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's like, just shut up. I'm going to be worked up.
We've hit a nerve. So there are around 100 employees at the company at the moment, and because it's based in the UK, before you close down the company, there needs to be this sort of 30-day consultation where all parties involved try to figure out whether or not the company can survive. But Microsoft have made the call, so it's probably unlikely it's going to survive, because they've also closed down a Copenhagen-based studio called Press Play, who are probably most well known for Max: The Curse of the Brotherhood, which was a free game with Games with Gold, I think last year on Xbox One. Did you play it?
I don't remember.
well.
Over the years, they all start to blur.
You're responsible for this travesty. And no consultation was needed there because they're not based in the UK. So we'll see what happens with all those Lionhead devs. Hopefully they go out and find other jobs somewhere in the UK. Moving on now. It's Thing of the Day.
What do I do?
You just stay.
Hi.
Really, though?
Yeah, good.
It's Thing of the Day. YouTube user WeOP activated his Spidey senses in the recent Uncharted 4 multiplayer beta. He managed to connect not one, not two, but 3 consecutive swings to successfully land a KO on his sniping opponent.
They should get Pulitzers for this.
Hi.
Really, though?
Yeah, good.
It's Thing of the Day. All right, now it's talk through time where you suggest a topic We talked through it. Today's topic comes in from Rahil Ali, who says, with a game such as Quantum Break coming out, as you spoke about in this episode, he's referring, of course, to the episode where we spoke about Quantum Break, do you think that eventually TV will merge into games, making a more interactive experience, or even the opposite with games merging into television? So we've got Quantum Break coming out, which actually is a convergence of real television and real video games. But we have seen this before in some, TV in games some way. What jumps to mind for me is Alan Wake, with its episodic nature within the whole package. The previously on, it felt like you were watching episodes of TV.
Yeah, that was
great.
I
really enjoyed.
It was awesome because it did feel, like you say, it did feel like separate sections.
Yep.
And that previously on was really exciting. It felt like, okay, now I can put this down. It gave you a point to rest.
Yeah.
You weren't feeling like, okay, when do I stop playing this 12-hour game? It's like, oh wow, I did a chapter. I can rest. I can think about that. Let the narrative and story roll around in my head and get excited for the next one. You've got it segmented, so that really worked for a game. I hate it when there's tie-ins. I hate there's a game and there's a TV show and they're gonna connect and the storylines will interweave because it never works.
Let me talk to you about Quantum Break.
Well, look at Defiance, right? That was this big MMO and the world's gonna change with what happens. But the problem is, right, TV takes a long time to make and video games take an even longer time to make. So if you're interactively changing certain things, they're going to be cosmetic. They're not going to be really earth-shattering.
Yeah, they're super surface.
Yeah, and it's like, why bother? Do one really well, do the other really well. I just don't think that works.
And do you consider something like Until Dawn to be TV-style content in a video game?
I think so. I mean, Until Dawn was like a movie or a TV series kind of with game elements, it was kind of quick time events.
Some quick time events and that sort of thing, but you are just watching a narrative pretty much play out.
But you got to make choices.
You did get to make choices.
And they mattered.
Yeah, and I think that you look at games like The Walking Dead and Until Dawn and that sort of thing is probably the closest that we get to TV in video games until Quantum Break, which is just literally that.
I guess what we're really talking about is there's two things here. There's when a game's too close to movies and TV and less passive and that's not fun, and should TV be less passive, but just let it be passive. It's good at passive, right? That's my opinion.
So then, that's the other part of the question is, do you think that it works when you try to gamify TV? And judging from that, you're going to say no.
It's horrible. I don't want to look at second screens, and I don't want to, I just want to enjoy the TV show. And others may enjoy it, but it's like, here's a thing that's crafted to be a passively entertaining thing, and games do active so well. That's why games are great, and they can be cinematic and have all that stuff too, except you're in it. What a more exciting experience that can be than watching a TV show.
I'm going to be controversial here, and I'm going to completely agree with you, that I think that TV should be by itself. And I think it comes from the fact that TV, as in the actual physical box, is up on the wall. And it's not really interactive. There are internet-enabled televisions, but the stuff on that is crap. Once television moves to devices that are inherently already interactive, like watching stuff on YouTube, people have made choose your own adventure stuff where you can watch a video and at the end you pick what happens next and you select that video and they've already made it. I feel like the devices need to be interactive before TV can get interactive again.
That's the future.
But then, do you want that? I kind of just trust storytellers. Just tell me your story. Don't let... I don't know what...
Yeah.
I couldn't write Breaking Bad. My Breaking Bad would be terrible if you let me make the decisions. It would be, he gets away with all of it in the first episode, and the cancer just disappears.
What a lovely show that would be.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I think the future, one day TV stations will all be gone.
Yeah.
There'll be something else, and we'll all be crammed in here doing the show with you. Hope that's all right, by the way.
That's
cool. So in the future, there'll be one box. This is my theory about the future. One box that controls everything.
Yeah.
Streams your games to your tablets or your laptops or whatever you're playing your game on in the house to the TV. It'll control all the TV watching. It'll be this big interactive communal comment YouTube-y kind of machine. And we will all get to enjoy it together, connected through the tubes.
I feel like we're watching Peter Molyneux pitch a new console. Alright, well that's it for the talk through. Do you subscribe to Bajo's one box theory? Or do you like the idea of television and games sort of staying separate and not being too interactive? Let us know in the comments, and while you're there, please suggest a talk through for later in the week, and also check out Good Game on Facebook, YouTube, and iView. Want to meet fellow Pocketeers? Then join the Pocketeers Facebook group and Steam group. You can follow Good Game on Twitter at Good Game TV, follow Pocket at NichBoy, at Pierreth, at GG, at Monkey, and at Sam G. He's at Budget Pants, and there are links to everything I just said in the description below. And also, Good Game is on tonight, 8:30 p.m. on ABC2. Budget.
Oh,
Tell
Nick
me
Boy,
what's on.
I'll tell you all about it. There's Layers of Fear, which is this creepy snoop 'em up in a scary.
Snoop 'em up.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
Did you coin that?
Maybe.
Let's
not.
just say yes.
Okay, let's say yes. Going through people's stuff and like rooms are changing, kind of Silent Hill style. It's pretty cool. Also, Super Hot.
Yep.
This really trippy first-person shooter slash kind of puzzly kind of game where time moves where you move. Really cool and trippy. And they say super hot after super hot after every level. Super hot. Also, Dark Souls 3. Goose is doing a first play of it. I haven't seen any of it.
Yep.
I'm super pumped to see what it's like, and I hope it's amazing, and I'm gonna cry if I think about it too much because I want to play it so bad.
Well, I hope for your sake it's good. Also, Goose is doing an IMO, which we will be talking about tomorrow on Pocket. He's talking about a failed Kickstarter and giving a relatively controversial opinion about it. I haven't seen it yet, but I am setting him up to fail. So hopefully he did actually say something controversial to which you could respond, and we'll talk about what you think about it tomorrow on the show. That is it for today's episode. My Pocketeers, till tomorrow, Nick Boy out.
But you out.
I like your one box idea.
I'm a thinker.
Are you? You thinking? It looks like it hurts.
It's so painful.